First, live, local. The 10 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. First on Fox tonight, a series of reported incidents at Clark College led police to arrest a man for assault, sexual motivation, and indecent exposure. Vancouver police received reports on Thursday that a man had been following a student on campus and then was seen on surveillance video exposing himself in a public area of campus. Later that day, another report came in that he had inappropriately touched a female staff member. When approached by police, he ran away, but today that man, who is now identified as Nolan Sanchez, was located, arrested, and booked into the Clark County Jail. Police are investigating a shooting death at a Southeast Portland apartment complex. First responders rushed to the Scott Mountain by the Brooks Apartments on Southeast Aspen Summit Drive just before 1 this morning. Police found a man dead inside an outside common area of the apartments. Investigators are not yet releasing any suspect information or identifying the victim, but they are asking anyone who can help in the investigation to contact them. Portland police are also investigating reports of shots fired in the Old Town district of downtown. The call came in just before 2:15 on Northwest 2nd and Cooch. Police on scene told our crews that at least 40 shots were fired and at least 7 cars were damaged by bullets. Police say shortly after, a man walked into a hospital with a gunshot wound, but he is not cooperating, so it's not clear if he's connected to the shooting. We'll bring you updates as we learn more. And police say a person was killed in a hit-and-run crash in the Hazelwood neighborhood of Northeast Portland. Officers rushed to a crash call on Burnside at Northeast 113th Avenue just after 10 last night. They found a pedestrian dead in the crosswalk of the street, but the driver of the car was not there. No word yet if they have a description of the car or driver or who the victim is. Police are asking anyone who may have witnessed the crash or has any other information to contact them. Portland's historic NAACP chapter is gathering community members, leaders, and advocates from across the region tonight at its annual Freedom Fund dinner at the Portland Convention Center. Fox 12's Julia Lopez just stepped out of the event. So, Julia, how's it feeling out there?
You could feel a ton of energy at this sold-out dinner tonight, and you still can in the groups of people leaving behind me now. Our local NAACP president told me that he is just on cloud 9, seeing all of the support tonight, and that now the goal is to inspire the hundreds in attendance to advocate for Portland's communities of color, groups he says have been historically pushed out.
Things are rough. I'm just going to be real honest with you. Things are rough.
Portland NAACP President James Posey describes the organization as a buffer between communities of color and systemic oppression. He says issues that impact the city of Portland hit its black community especially hard.
People who are always been on the bottom, who are less in a position to defend themselves, they're preyed upon. When things get rough, you know, people used to say when white America gets a cold, Black America gets pneumonia.
Posey says while Portland's black community is vibrant and brings culture to the Rose City, many are feeling undervalued and underrepresented.
We're some resilient people. We have to be in order to be able to survive in a typically hostile environment. And Portland has been a hostile environment.
Portland had racial exclusion laws in its constitution until 1926, and today not even 6% of the city's population is black, according to the 2022 census.
The lowest on every category, high incarceration rates, the 50% achievement gap is something I like to harp on because we should never have a gap between kids going to school in terms of their achievement. That's prominent in this town. Unemployment.
We are restructuring with the public safety bureaus. We're working closely together in a way that I haven't seen in my 3 decades of service here, and I'm hopeful.
This dinner gathers community leaders and advocates from across the country to advocate for change.
People who have been oppressed and marginalized for a very long time need to have their voices heard in government and in other facets of the community here.
Representative Justin J. Pearson traveled from Memphis, where last April he says he was one of 2 black representatives expelled from the state's legislature for speaking against gun violence.
We know Know that we need to have people and institutions that focus on justice, focus on equality and civil rights in all types of aspects of our lives, and the NAACP in Portland does that exceptionally well, and I'm grateful to be here and to be a part of it.
He's now joining Posey to help the NAACP mobilize Portland voters ahead of both national and local elections less than 40 days away. Posey says he looks to his 3-year-old grandson for inspiration.
But you want them to live in a community that shows love. We're all living in a positive vein. Listen, when African Americans are hurting, our whole community is hurting. We have to fight for the future.
Posey tells me the Portland NAACP branch is completely volunteer driven. Live in Northeast Portland's Julia Lopez, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Julia, thank you. Rising WNBA star Cameron Brink returned to her hometown high school in Beaverton this weekend to host an all-girls basketball clinic for aspiring athletes. Brink is holding the 3rd annual Next 22 camp at her alma mater, Mountainside High School, with the goal of imparting wellness wisdom to the next generation of players. While there was plenty of basketball played at the camp today, Brink also educated the campers on the holistic health triangle, diet, exercise, and sleep, and gave some tips and tools to attain optimal rest, performance, and recovery.
Yeah, I always grew up with really strong female role models, so just being able to do this for them is a huge deal for me, and it's just a small thing, but hopefully that they can just take some pieces that they learn from this camp and take it on, this year, rest of the years of their young lives.
As a part of attending the camp, each camper will receive a pillow, pillowcase, sleep mask, rest tips, and a picture with Brink. Plus, one camper will even be given a new mattress. A local business that was hit hard by the January ice storm is now back and better than ever. DB Dessert Company celebrated its grand reopening today, and our crews were there to capture it all.
Come on, After being closed for 6 months, Northeast Portland's DB Dessert Company is officially back open.
To many more years in business.
This new beginning comes after the bakery sustained major damage from the January ice storm. Woo! But owner Demela Badon says they're not only bouncing back, but they're coming back bigger and better than ever.
We are so excited. We have launched our wine bar, so we have a wine bar within the bakery, which is super exciting. And now we offer a lot more savory options. So we have, focaccia pizzas, sliders, lots of savory pastries. So we're doing a lot of amazing things with baked goods and doing some savory options, which we didn't have before. So we have a brand new look and a brand new menu.
Badon celebrated the grand reopening Saturday with the people she says supported her through everything and the community she calls home.
We are trying to build a brand that represents community, and so to have the community come out and to be here and support us and to see them all in our space and enjoying and having a good time and laughing and smiling, that is what helps us to get through all of the things we go through.
And with businesses in Portland struggling to stay afloat, Badon says this day serves as a reminder that resiliency matters, and being supported in that effort is vital to any brand's success.
I want the community and the city to understand how vital and important it is for businesses to stay open, because we are seeing so many close every day, and we all get upset when we see it, but we need to understand that if we don't patronize these small businesses, they will continue to go away. So we want to make sure that people are keeping in the forefront of their mind that they are coming out and supporting small businesses to keep them around, because we are what keeps the community thriving.
Oh, well, a big congrats to them. And Katie, did you see those baked goods and the cupcakes? It looks so yummy.
I love to bake, so I'm always excited when I see a successful bakery.
Absolutely.
And it's a great day to grab a cupcake today and maybe go out for a walk or head to the park, or maybe just enjoy it sitting outside, as we had a day today that was so similar to yesterday. Just a couple little things were different. One, we had no showers this morning, which we did yesterday, and it was sunny to start, but then a few clouds have come in tonight, as you can see here on that Shriners Children's camera. We're not anticipating there to be any rain. There is a trough that's moving to our north, moving across the region, and we're going to see cooler temperatures and a few clouds from that tonight, but we're not expecting to see any rain, which I will show you on the model forecast. Here it is, temperatures for the day, where we topped out mid-70s in the metro, just like we expected. Got a little warmer in the valleys into the upper 70s, low 80s in Roseburg, and we got into the 80s all the way out to the east, and then we did have have that cooler day along the coast where you can see upper 50s to mid 60s there. Just slightly above average. 73 is where we are supposed to be, and we made it to 75. Now tomorrow will be a bit cooler. Look at those temperatures on the other side of the Cascades getting into the 90s. Not going to see a day like that. We're actually looking at cooler temperatures all across the region as that trough moves across. Here's a look at the day tomorrow. Maybe a cloud here or there in the sky. Pretty sunny for us. Just look at those temperatures, upper 60s to low 70s. At the coast, we're not expecting things to warm up nearly as much as they did today. Maybe though in the mid 60s for the top, partly cloudy and cooler. Then when you shift into the valleys, you'll see some areas in the mid to upper 60s. A couple places could get into the 70s, but we're not expecting that. Everything points to the indications that things will stay in the 60s. Even when you head out into the gorge, you're looking at mid to upper 60s for the temperatures, and then a gusty wind on the east end for the west wind going through at 30 miles per hour. Sunny but chilly up at the mountain. Your freeze levels at 8,000 feet. Temperatures mid 40s to low 60s, but no snow in sight. We're not going to see anything falling on the mountain just yet. Look at that, Madras, 687 degrees. We'll fix that for you, especially 68 degrees there. Maybe the finger got a little out of control typing in those numbers. And then the metro, no 600-degree temperatures here, just in those mid to upper 60s. Here's what I was talking about. You'll see a few clouds tonight, and then as we get into tomorrow, everything clears up. You'll see a few showers, but everything either stays to the north or goes away. And then a very light east wind will kick in on Monday. That's when our temperatures go back up, and you see we stay pretty much clear and sunny and warm all the way through. At this point, the only chance we're seeing for showers now has shifted to Wednesday. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Upper 60s tomorrow. Then we get into the 70s. We have a brief warm up for Monday, Tuesday. That's when we have a ridge that builds, but then it flattens pretty quickly onto Wednesday. And then we get back into some seasonal temperatures for a bit. The next cool day we have is Friday with a chance for showers in the upper 60s, low 70s getting into the weekend. Amel.
Well, now a tropical depression, Helene, continues unleashing its fury throughout the southeast. More than 50 people have been killed because of the storm across 5 states, and millions still remain without power. For Fox 12, Ivan Rodriguez has the latest from Florida's Big Bend region.
Helene made landfall in Florida's Big Bend region Thursday night as a monstrous Category 4 hurricane, leaving coastal communities like Keaton Beach, Florida, nearly unrecognizable.
Clearly, you saw a storm surge in excess of 15 feet.
I mean, there was just houses everywhere, and now there's nothing.
Most of the communities in Big Bend still don't have power. Recovery from this historic storm will be long, especially for people still waiting on insurance claims from the last hurricane.
We are still fighting with our insurance for my store and my house down here that were damaged in Idalia last year. So we're months away from an end in that situation.
In North Carolina, more than 400 roads in the western part of the state were closed as of Saturday morning. Since Thursday, Buncombe County received over 5,500 911 calls and conducted more than 130 swiftwater rescues. Parts of Asheville, North Carolina have been left under several feet of water.
A lot of the businesses are absolutely wrecked. I've never seen anything like that since I've lived here.
Federal Emergency Management Agency Administrator Deanne Criswell is on the ground in Florida Saturday surveying the destruction. The agency says it deployed more than 800 staff to support states affected by Helene, and their distribution centers are fully stocked. In Keaton Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Happening today, one local pub is celebrating its 30th year anniversary by giving back. The Lucky Labrador Brew Pub put on its yearly benefit fundraiser for Dove Lewis Emergency Animal Hospital. Attendees got to have a tail-wagging good time with food, drinks, music, and to get their dogs all cleaned up with a donation. The owner of the pub says it all goes to a good cause.
Really to benefit Dove Lewis. I mean, they're just such a great organization, and they just do a great job of taking care of our pets, and the blood bank does just an amazing job, and one of the best blood banks, pet dog blood banks in the United States. So it's a great organization.
And all proceeds from today's event will be going to the Dove Lewis Blood Bank. Also today, the Union Gospel Mission spent the morning at Embassy Suites, Washington Square, collecting winter essentials to help low-income community members and the unhoused. The event was held as part of UGM's annual Operation Overcoat campaign, which is designed to help unhoused people survive the winter and offer a connection point for those trying to find affordable housing options. The donations gathered this morning will be distributed during October over the course of the mission's Operation Overcoat campaign. All right, before we go tonight, one last check of your forecast with Katie.
I thought we'd make sure we had no 687
Thank you so much.
degree days in our forecast, and we don't. Thankfully, we just get to see some temperatures in the upper 60s to the warmest being in those upper 70s. That's that day I mentioned where we have a ridge that just briefly builds but that flattens for us. And our temperatures get into the low 70s on Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, we see another slight drop into Friday and the chance for showers. We'll keep tracking that and keep everybody updated.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous forecast, Katie. Thank you. And thank you all so much for sticking with us tonight. Good Day Oregon is going to start tomorrow at 6. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching Fox 12 Oregon News. Watch us live wherever you are on our website, our mobile, and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.